Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
Welcome to 0 to 60. Happy Wednesday, everybody out there. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. We have a lot to talk about today on the show. I appreciate everybody that watches on YouTube and whatnot. We appreciate you. Super chats and subs are open. Bailey, let's get this started and get it over with.
We have a great show on this fine Wednesday. Lots to talk about, Matt. But this show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform. Your number one source for betting on all the madness. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, BetOnline continues to be your number one betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, how you doing on this fine Wednesday? NFL free agency is crazy. Colorado started spring ball or spring practices. And how you feeling on this fine Wednesday?
Things are good, man. Just Wednesday and trying to get through the week. And free agency is always interesting to me, the guys who get paid and the guys who don't. But yeah, lots to react to, so let's get it on.
Well, let's get into it. Before we talk Colorado, Matt, your New York Jets have a new quarterback in Justin Fields. Jets and Justin Fields agreed to a 2-year, $40 million deal, $30 million guaranteed. Matt, how do you feel about the Jets signing Justin Fields? Do you think this is QB1 or Tyrod Taylor, or do you think they'll still draft a quarterback? And how do you feel about this signing?
Let's see. The Jets. Look, if Aaron Glenn's going to run the football and Justin Fields is going to be used correctly, because no one, even Chicago, when they did run him, they don't use him correctly. Mm-hmm. It's like you're trying to elongate a career and hope that he turns into a pocket passer when you should just run quarterback run game and fucking pipe people for 1,000 yards on the ground and just be a run-first football team. There's nothing wrong with that. He'll probably suit the Jets better. I don't know why he signed there, just to go compete with Tyrod Taylor and lose out to him, because Tyrod can throw the ball better. If they end up drafting a quarterback too, that's going to be another situation where Fields is there for a year. I mean, he got 2 years and got $40 million, so I guess being a backup quarterback is pretty cool.
You really think they pay him that much and he doesn't start? You think there's a shot at that? Man, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting him competing with Tyrod Taylor. You would think that this signing means they won't draft a quarterback, but it is the New York Jets. Who knows? But, Matt, let me ask you, are you optimistic or not optimistic about the signing and for the position?
I'll never be optimistic about the Jets as long as I live. They're a fucking dumpster fire, and you know they are. There's nothing to be optimistic about, bro. It's the worst franchise in football other than Cleveland. But at least Cleveland got Myles Garrett signed, so I guess that bullshit worked. So,
yeah, what are your thoughts on Cleveland signing Myles Garrett to a record extension after Max Crosby got signed? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's smart. He's a great player, but apparently money is more important to Myles Garrett than winning, because he's already got a ton of money.
Right.
Going back to Cleveland is pretty much assuring him he's never going to win anything. So it is what it is, bro. This is the world we live in, and these guys are making a ton of bread these days. And I don't it's impossible to put winning first when this much money is on the table.
It's a great answer, Matt. It's a great answer. Well, we'll dive into free agency more later in the show, but let's get into it. Let's get into Colorado spring ball talk. Colorado spring ball has begun, and Coach Prime issued a speech to Colorado, and he said, this team is better than last year's team already. Take a listen to this, Big Mac.
Got to get a little put your seatbelt on because this could get a little tight because some of y'all been tripping, and we got to check it right now because we ain't going to keep on with the bull jump for the spring. We're going to have a great spring. We're going to have an awesome spring. We have a better team than we had last year. We're going to prove it this spring. We're going to be so much disciplined. We're dead last in penalties last season. It will not have that, and that starts today. That starts today. So all the bull junk you've been doing, no, ain't no way. We doing some of the bull junk that we've been doing that we think we can get away with because y'all don't have no supervision. We ain't doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. It's a new day. We're going to establish a new day in a new way. If it ain't, y'all going to be gone. And you know I keep my word on that. So let's have a great meeting. We're going to start off right. Let's start off. Who we got?
Matt, what are your thoughts on Coach Prime's speech there? Go ahead.
I mean, it sounds good. I don't know how you lose Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders and get better, but I mean, they could be better top to bottom. I'm sure the offensive line will be better. You know, the five they paraded out there on the first day of spring ball. Jordan Seaton's probably the only one that's a solidified starter. Everybody else is still fighting for a job. We'll see what they do at quarterback. I'd imagine they'll go with the vet. Yeah, defensively, that it looks like the 11 starters they have are pretty good. I like Hood and McKinley. Yeah, I think they have a chance to be a really good football team. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But, you know, penalties were a huge problem last year, and they overcame it. And not being able to run the football again was a huge problem last year. Then they overcame it to a point. They overcame it until they played people that had balls and ran the ball against us, and then we got hammered. Mm-hmm. So that's the next step now is now that they've won 9 games, that's the standard, bro, like minimum 9. And now you need to go win 11 and play for the Big 12 title and go to the playoff and shit. So we'll see if they can do that. But yeah, I'll tell you this, 3 years in, if we can't run the football the 3rd year in, it's a choice. It's not because you can't do it. You're choosing not to develop it. You're choosing not to push it. You can hire whoever you want, and I'm sure that Dre and Coach Gunner and Coach Hang and Coach Falk and everybody else that's involved in this, I'm sure they want to run the football. We'll see. So if you can't do it in the 3rd year with the first player in the draft being Jordan Seaton 2 years from now coming off the board, number 1, with that kind of talent, with the backs we have, with a run-first quarterback, if you can't do it this year, you're making a choice not to do it. It's not that you can't, you don't want to. So we'll see.
Absolutely, Matt. I agree with you. And we'll talk about the run game more in a sec, but something you mentioned and something I wanted to ask you about, the quarterback battle, and we've kind of discussed this briefly. You think they'll go with the veteran 4-year starter from Liberty, Kaidon Salter. But I got to ask you, Matt, there's a lot of noise around Juju Lewis. Obviously, he's a hell of a player, young player coming into Colorado. And I think ultimately, whether this is a quarterback battle or not, they'll ultimately give it to the best player. I got to ask you, Matt, is there any shot Juju balls out this spring in this training camp that they end up rolling with him this season, the youngster?
I don't think he can. I don't think either guy can lose the job or earn the job in the spring. This is just practicing and going against yourselves, and they can set the table for themselves going into the fall.
For sure.
I mean, the kid's obviously uber talented, so it's just. But again, Shedeur Sanders is such a unicorn that he could win and put up monumental numbers with absolutely no support in the running game whatsoever. I don't know if these two kids can do that. I know the kid from Liberty can't because he's a run-first quarterback. Juju's 17. So again, all the quarterback hype and all the receiver hype is cute. It only worked because of Travis and Shador and the freaks at receiver we had. Like, Shador doesn't get enough credit for making it work with no run game. It's like it's a negative that he didn't have a run game. When I look at it and go, wow, imagine what he would be like if he had support, rather than everybody going the other direction saying, well, he must have he chose not to run the football. Remember, because Shador's the offensive coordinator. So I don't think we can be successful if we're not balanced with these two quarterbacks. I know we can't be with the Liberty kid because he's a run first kid, and the other one's 17. So, and don't forget about Ryan Stapp too. He's a hell of a player, and he's done some good things for CU back in the day. So don't be surprised if 16 gets some run too. So I don't know, man. I'm very eager to see what this team looks like and the foundation of the team moving forward when you don't have a Sanders on offense, you don't have a Sanders on defense, and Travis Hunter's gone. So you just, and the other great receivers, Horn and Western and those boys, they're awesome. Shepard, they've got a lot of guys going to the NFL this year. But those three, Shiloh being the figurehead on defense, regardless how you feel about him as a player, Shador and Travis obviously being the record-setting players that they were. Now I want to see what the foundation of your team looks like when it's not your family. So I'm very eager to see it, and I think that it'll be good. I think that they have the foundation to be great. I think they have a great coaching staff. Now it all has, it's either going to be a coronation and everybody's going to do what they're supposed to do and it's going to be awesome, or it's going to be the biggest clusterfuck in the history of college football, because let's be real, if it doesn't work, people will turn on Dion as fast. Like the CU community will turn on him. People will turn on him because they will say it was only because of his kid. It'll be like a in-house Brady Belichick thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It shouldn't be like that, but that's the way the world works. So I'd like to think that they're moving in the right direction, but it's one spring ball practice, and I know they've got a lot of talent. So now it's about actually developing it and going out and doing it.
I agree with you. Well said, Matt. And going back to the quarterback battle, someone that will be on this show this Friday, Philip Dukes, talked about, he made a case for Julian Lewis, saying don't count him out because of his age. I just kind of wanted to mention that. And, he mentioned that ultimately he believes it'll go to the best player, whether that's Salter or whether that's Julian Lewis. I think ultimately they go with Salter. And like you mentioned, Salter's a run-first quarterback, so they'll have to adjust the offense accordingly. And Matt, I think the most important thing that you said out of all the things that you just said, if they can't figure out a run game after year 3, it's by choice, like you mentioned. And, we'll see if they can figure it out. But, man, Matt, let's move forward here. Let's go back to the NFL. Your favorite free agency move so far. Go ahead.
Probably the safety, the Tuafonga kid from San Francisco going to the Broncos.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good guy.
And Greenlaw, too. Getting both of those guys to come to Denver's defense, which is already elite with the Defensive Player of the Year on it. Denver's secondary is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I think the Broncos have a legitimate shot to dethrone the Chiefs in the West. I really do. So, especially with the Chiefs getting worse and losing a bunch of guys up front and so on and so forth, I really like those two moves. I thought they were big time. Now, we'll see what happens, but that Tuafonga kid is a fucking ball player. So, I really like that move.
And you guys getting him and Greenlaw, huge acquisitions for your defense in Denver. Man, like you mentioned, that secondary, PS2, you got Moss. You got to be excited if you're a fan in Denver. Matt, I wanted to ask you about another acquisition. Indianapolis Colts signed Daniel Jones to compete with your favorite, Anthony Richardson, How do you feel about the Colts quarterback situation?
How do I feel about the Colts signing Daniel Jones? I think it's look, bro. The Colts have a quarterback room with IR5 and Daniel Jones in it, so they have the lowest completion percentage. The top two guys in the entire league are in that room, so I'd imagine they're going to draft the quarterback, right?
I don't know.
They're just like these two fucking chumps. So I don't know, man. Everybody that says they can't draft a quarterback, again, the rookie wage skills allows you to fuck up on quarterbacks in first round picks and get away with it. So
they're paying him $14 million a year.
I think it's a joke, bro. But again, this is the new NFL where average gets you fucking multi-million lottery dollars. Like, I can only imagine what the good players back in the day would actually be making in today's NFL. Because there are more average, sorry motherfuckers making boatloads of money, especially at quarterback. I mean, Kirk Cousins is the highest earning quarterback ever. He is the epitome of fucking average.
He's going to be a backup next season.
Like there's so many cats out here making so much money that are just not good, and they're just throwing money at them because of the market, because the quarterback market says so. Like that is insanity to me. But I'm not a 34-year-old GM with fucking that followed my buddy's daddy around and carried his suitcase. It got me a big-time job, so I guess I'm just going to have to keep doing the show and complaining about it this way.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I will see if the Colts end up drafting a quarterback. I think ultimately Daniel Jones is probably their starter. I mean, you would think Daniel Jones just won a playoff game. We forget. I think that if anything,
Tim Tebow won a playoff game too. I don't. Come on, dog. You can miss me with the he won a playoff game shit. I don't care.
Who would you rather have, Matt? Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones at quarterback?
Who's the third string guy? Who else is on the full roster? That's who I'll take that guy.
Ellinger or something from
Sam Ellinger from Texas.
If he is he. I don't even know if he's on the roster anymore, so I don't know.
Maybe he's playing in the XFL. By the way, I'm kind of excited for the XFL. There's guys out there that actually like football and are going to play hard.
Yeah, we'll get to watch that.
They may not be any fucking good, but hey, if you like effort, it'll be cool. I would take. I don't want either of them. We're running Wildcat the entire time.
Interesting. Another quarterback signing, Sam Darnold signs to the Seahawks after they trade Geno Smith to the Raiders. Personally, this is a little confusing for me. It seems like a lateral move for a not as good of a player, and then you pay him a little bit less than you would have had to pay Geno Smith. But Matt, what are your thoughts on this move?
Who's he going to throw the ball to?
The Smith and Jigba, they just signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling today.
That'll make up for DJ and Tyler Lockett.
Totally.
Again, the average quarterback land strikes again. If I'm Sam Darnold, I'd probably take less to stay in Minnesota where I'm comfortable than just money grab and go to rebuilding Seattle. Look, man. I'm not a Seahawks fan, so I don't know how like the base feels about this, but I'd be pretty pissed off if I was a Seahawks fan. Like, we got rid of Geno for a third rounder to bring in this fucking guy and pay him pretty much the same salary, and we got rid of DJ and Lockett, and God knows who else is going to go. And then what is Seattle? And Seattle's obviously in the market for a quarterback then. Then we didn't think they were, but
they still have Sam Howell. That's the biggest mystery of it all. They still have Sam Howell who threw for 4,000 yards with
Yeah,
EB.
he could do what fucking Sam Darnold's about to do, which is lose and throw interceptions. So I think Sam Darnold will go back to earth quickly next year in Seattle and probably be benched by midseason. And if you're Seattle, then you probably are in the market for a quarterback. So which one of these quarterbacks is going to the Seahawks? Where's their pick? Like 16, 17, something like that?
18.
18. Yeah, I mean, they were right on the cusp of the playoffs. So maybe Shador Dart could fall to 18. Maybe they move up and try and trade up and get a quarterback, but you have to think that they're either going in the quarterback market now or they're setting themselves up to go in the quarterback market next year. Because I think that there's a lot of GMs that are trying to be tricky right now and like tank for Archie. And I think it's really hard to tank in the NFL. I think it's incredibly hard to tank because there's so many guys that are going to play hard because they want to keep their fucking jobs.
Well said. Now, going back on the other side of that trade, or other side of kind of the Seahawks getting rid of people, Geno Smith obviously traded to the Raiders. I think this is a huge get for the Raiders. They have their quarterback for the foreseeable future, at least. Geno's reunited with Pete Carroll. Matt, if I'm a Raiders fan, you have to be pretty happy here, no?
I mean, yeah, they got monumentally better since Pete Carroll got hired. They went and hired a competent head coach that has experience, and he and Tom Brady and, Davis have gone out and tried to put together a football team for the first time in a long time. So pay Max Crosby. Let's see what they do in the draft. I'd imagine, I'm stunned that more people didn't go after DJ Metcalf. Like, just let him go to Pittsburgh. Like, if Aaron Rodgers ends up in Pittsburgh and he's thrown to those guys, I don't care what you think about Aaron as a person. He's not my favorite guy either, but goddamn, like it's going to be hard not to be successful with that defense and that head coach and that fucking place and the way they run the football and DJ and Pickens and Firemouth and all. Like, come on. So that's where I'd be going if I was Aaron Rodgers immediately. So I think Geno to the Raiders is smart. We'll see if they go. Is Lockett still a free agent?
Yeah, the Seahawks released him, and
I can't imagine that he'll be a free agent long. That's where I would go get him immediately for the sake that they know each other so well.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the AFC West better. All four teams have a quarterback.
That is true. And just now, officially, Jets are releasing Aaron Rodgers after 4 p.m. today. Jets will take on $49 million in dead money by releasing Rodgers. He's being designated as a post-June 1st cut, meaning they'll carry his $21 million cap hit until June 1st, when it drops to $14 million, saving $7 million. But then they will absorb $35 million in 2026 in dead cap money. So interesting for the Jets.
Keep paying these quarterbacks this amount of money. It seems to be working out great.
Yeah. Man, it's just been a lot of different moves around the NFL. The Browns, Matt, I don't know if you saw this. The Browns traded for Kenny Pickett. I don't know what this means for their quarterback future, but they have Kenny Pickett now, traded DTR and a 5th round pick for him. Any comments on this or no?
Nope. And again, it's well, have fun in Cleveland. Like, if Shador goes to Cleveland, my response is the same. Have fun in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it works out.
The Mormon MILF Hunter was signed by the Miami Dolphins, so now he's the Miami MILF Hunter. Any comment on this? Former Jet.
This guy's spreading his seed all over the United States.
Okay, so I believe we've covered all the quarterback news as of right now. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know where he'll end up. Russell Wilson, we've heard nothing. It sounds like Tennessee may be an option for Russell, which
God, man, I'm so tired of all these quarterbacks. I'm so tired of hearing about these fucking guys. Aren't you? Doesn't everybody?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for this to be over.
It's fucking exhausting.
So hypothetical, like all this hypothetical.
It's like LeBron, homie. It's like the LeBron apologists and the conversation about LeBron. It's so exhausting. It's like listening to a fucking person that's mentally ill try and tell you that he's better than Jordan and Kobe. The same guy who's yelling at Stephen A. Smith, keep my son's name out of your mouth. Keep your son out of the NBA, you fucking douchebag. He can't play. Like, it's just a circle, bro. It's so ridiculous to me.
You're hilarious, Matt. But let me ask you. So now we talked about all the quarterbacks so far. Now, where does this leave the NFL draft? Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. Now the Jets seemingly don't need a quarterback. Neither do the Raiders.
Well, everyone needs a quarterback. Again, just because they went out and signed somebody doesn't mean they're not going to draft somebody.
That's right.
Everyone needs quarterbacks, bro. All these guys are changing teams year by year by year. So,
well, let me ask you this:
even Geno Smith, the foreseeable future? He's 35 years old. If he's there for 2 years, I'd be shocked.
Right.
Longer than if he's there longer than 2 years, I'd be stunned. So if let's say the Raiders are putting him in a position to mentor Shedeur Sanders, I don't know.
Well, how do you think the free agency signings affected the draft, or did it at all, or no? Do you still see it going the same you did before?
I think that one of them is going to go in the top 3 for sure. I can see both of them going to the top 3. After that, bro, I don't know. People are going to probably move up. I mean, there's a lot of movement in the draft here. Like, don't be surprised if people move up. New Orleans needs a quarterback. Fucking see who else is on this goddamn list. Seattle needs a quarterback. Everybody needs a fucking quarterback. There's nobody on the list that doesn't want to take a good player. So, I mean, we'll see. They're both going in the first round. I don't know where. And at this point, I don't even give a fuck. When's the draft?
In April sometime.
In April, dog? We have to keep talking about this until fucking April.
Yeah, let me get you the exact dates, but I believe it's in April every year. Thursday, April 24th through the 26th.
Oh, my God, dude. That's like 6 weeks still of this bullshit. I don't fucking know, okay? I don't know. I'm not in the front offices. I don't give a shit anymore either. Just go play and fucking make your millions.
Interesting. Well, let's go back to some free agent signings around the NFL. We have some great topics to get to after the commercial break. But I got to go back. The Vikings have been making some serious moves, Matt. They signed Jonathan Allen, 3-year, $60 million contract. I think that's a big get for them from the Commanders. They also signed another offensive lineman, Will Freeze, 5 years, $88 million contract as well. Matt, Vikings making moves, and now have J.J. McCarthy seemingly as their quarterback one. How do you feel about them in free agency and J.J. McCarthy starting?
I think you're going to load up a team with the hope that your rookie is good.
Right.
So, if you're going to go spend all this money and load up, cool. You obviously are trying to take a shot. It's all going to come down to whether or not your quarterback can play. And if he can play, then you'll win. And if he can't play, then everybody will wonder why Sam Darnold's sucking in Seattle rather than being captain average in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, a place where it seemed to work. So, again, I don't know if Jonathan Allen is the player he was. I think that's a resume contract. That's somebody who put in a lot of time but hasn't really done shit in the last couple of years. It's been hurt a lot, but he's got a good resume, so he gets $60 million. I don't know, man. These days in free agency, I would be very, very weary if I was a GM with anybody that's not in the first round of free agency. And technically, I guess he is in the first round, but what I'm saying is, if they're not an all-pro difference maker today, not 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I'm probably not throwing a ton of money at him. I can go find somebody that's cheap to go do the same job and be hurt. So That's just my opinion.
Absolutely, and I think we'll see with JJ McCarthy. Whether we haven't seen him. We saw him briefly in the preseason, and then he got hurt, unfortunately. So the Vikings really are putting a lot of trust in him. Seemingly, he'll step up. Sean King, who we've had on the show, he's been on JB's show. Obviously, is a big advocate for JJ McCarthy. Coached him in high school at IMG, I believe. So. But, Matt, I got to ask you about another acquisition. The Texans traded Laremy Tunsil to the Commanders for a bunch of different picks. And, Matt, this is somebody who I think may have wanted out of Houston, so to speak. He had a lot of penalties when he was in Houston, but he's a hell of a player. Obviously, I think great left tackle. Now, Commanders, I think, have had a great offseason acquiring him, Debo, and others. How do you feel about this move?
I think Laremy Tunsil's a stud. So – I don't look. Penalties are one thing with offensive linemen, but again, it's some blind fuck standing 12 yards behind you trying to tell you what penalty is. So I take that with a grain of salt. He's not the dude from Kansas City that is just a walking fucking penalty. I think this is a massive, massive fucking get for Washington. This solidifies left tackle. It keeps your franchise quarterback upright and allows them to do even more. So, that's a big move by Washington right there. That's kicking the tires and really going deep dive on what do you want out of our draft pick compensation to go and get an elite left tackle. So this is Washington's kind of going the Rams route where their draft picks are collateral, and they're going to go out and try and find veteran players that have done it, like I just said, that are at the top of their game now. When they went and traded for Vaughn midseason, he was at the top of his game, had 2 sacks in the Super Bowl, helped him win. They went and got Whitworth from Cincinnati. He played 5-6 years at the top of his game in L.A. They went and got Stafford at the top of his game. So another veteran. So Washington now is following that model a little bit, giving up a lot of picks for a known commodity, and I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I think, let's be real, the Commanders or the Redskins' Achilles heel has been offensive line for a while, and I don't think they've had this type of player at this position since, Trent Williams. So, I think it's a huge get for Washington, and I also like the Debo Samuel get. I think, I don't know how many people are talking about that, but I think that's a good get. The way they use him, I think will be great. Him with McLaurin, now running back room, I think it'll be great as well. So, Matt, great first half of the show. Let's go ahead and pay the bills. When we come back, we have a lot to talk about on the other side. Ryan Clark is back in the news again, saying Shedeur Sanders is under fire from critics because of his race. We're also going to discuss Angel Reese, saying that she's going to sit out of WNBA games if she doesn't start getting paid more. I know Matt has a great take on this. Angel Reese. I know Matt's going to have a great take on that. We'll discuss some more NFL free agency news and so much more. If you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family here at 0 to 60. We appreciate you watching. See you in 2 minutes. Peace.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass, pro, and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. At the same time, have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am
your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 6-0 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to, all right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 6-0 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 6-0 on Cameo at 6-0 Academy. Cameo, 6-0 Academy. Cameo, 6-0 Academy.
And we're back on this fine Wednesday. Matt, you and Derek Wolf are hosting a camp, the Untamed Savage Trench Camp. Do you want to talk about that a little bit before we move forward here on this fine Wednesday?
In April, we've got this camp out in Colorado. We're inviting people from all over the country. It's funny that we've got way more people RSVP'd from outside the state than we do inside the state.
Wow. Really?
It's hobby town, dog. It's what Colorado is. So people, like, I had somebody yell at me this morning because it's $400 for 2 days with Derek Wolf and me.
I mean, it's a
And they pull up in a Tesla and their kids wearing $700 Jordans, but they're yelling at me because the cost is too high. I just don't understand it. So look, Derek is an elite defensive lineman, bad motherfucker. I think I'm pretty good at my job. There's going to be a ton of coaches' eyes on this camp. We're inviting people from all over the country. We've got a ton of people RSVP'd. It's for any and everybody. So we'd love for anybody to come compete. It's going to be 2 days of just pass rush and key read and get down. There's no pencil necks. Like, there's tight ends can come, and we're inviting a bunch of them because they have to block too. And we've got judge machines and quarterbacks that can throw to them when we do coverage stuff with the linebackers and tight ends. But other than that, it's linebackers, tight ends, pass rushers, defensive linemen, and offensive linemen. And we'll see what happens in April, but it's going to be a big-time camp and a big-time environment, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm wondering if Derek and I are going to get in a fist fight at some point because that's my homeboy, but I'm sure we're probably going to go to the 50 and fucking get in a wrestling match, to say the least, at each other a little bit when it gets a little competitive. So
sure,
I'm eager to see if the guys in Colorado that could consider themselves good players on the O-line and D-line come compete with all these kids that are flying in to come compete in Denver. Because it seems to me, and I'm just going to say this right now, there's a lot of scared kids and parents in Colorado. So scared film, don't make film. So just keep that in mind. And I'm sure I just offended people, and they're going to get super mad, and I'm going to get an email barrage saying the kids are soft or a bunch of other shit. Just guaranteed. So, yeah. We'll see. It should be fun.
Check out Untamed Savage Trench Camp with Big Matt and Derek Wolf. Matt, let's move forward. Let's address the topic of the hour, so to speak. Ryan Clark says Shedeur Sanders is under fire from critics because of the color of his skin. Matt, I got to show this video, and we'll get our takes after. Take a listen to this.
That they plant these certain reports or they say these certain things, and you do hear the word arrogant. Why is he arrogant? Because he won't walk into the meeting and bend the knee, or he won't sit in the meeting and question himself or his abilities or his knowledge and experience in the game. I don't believe that that's arrogance. I want a quarterback that's self-assured. I want a quarterback that could cut the film on, and when you ask him a question about why did you make this mistake or why did you make this throw or why was this the right read, I want him to be able to regurgitate that to me like he's in the play at the moment, the same way a coach or an offense coordinator would, because that's what he's going to have to do. And I've had conversations with Shedeur Sanders, and he can do that. we all know that it's not just about him being Deion Sanders' son. It's about the bravado he carries. It's about the fact that he looks a certain way. It is about the fact that the color of his skin sometimes at that position can be questioned. And I believe Shedeur Sanders is going to have to deal with that until he gets on the field. Now,
Matt. Why is he
man? Look, as a white guy, I mean, I guess my question to all the black dudes in the show and the comments and everything is everybody tired of this shit yet? I don't like Shedeur Sanders because he's a black quarterback or a white quarterback. He wore black and gold. That's why I loved him. And he's tough as fuck and can play. He could be fucking green for all I give a fuck. Who cares? This race baiting bullshit that ESPN does about everything. Fucking everything. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so fucking played out, bro. And if I as a white guy, if the roles were flipped and every single time I turned on the TV, I heard about I can't do something because I'm white, I'd be like, okay, I'm done with this fucking publication and these chumps. Like, all I hear is what I can't do. Like, Shedeur Sanders is still being judged because I have no doubt that there's some jealousy. I have no doubt that there's people in the front offices in the NFL who probably are intimidated. I have no doubt that there's some cracker-ass crackers in the NFL that are probably pretty intimidated by it. But to say that, like, he's not being given proper opportunity because he's black. Well,
yeah, I don't understand the rate.
How long is this? How long can we actually act like this is happening? Like, bro, the two black guys just started the fucking Super Bowl. Well, Patrick Mahomes was half white, but he's also half black. The top two quarterbacks in the draft are black guys. The league is full of black players that are obviously great players. They didn't get there because of DEI. They got there because they're the best.
Yeah.
So I think that the majority of the country is smart enough to look through this shit. But this is the kind of shit that I immediately turn the channel when I hear it. Like, if I hear everything else he said, that's his opinion. Right when he goes there, everything he said before that, I couldn't tell you what he said. I don't give a fuck. I'm over this shit, dog. Like, I'm over it. It's played out, and I'm not an asshole for thinking that way. All my fucking boys that are brothers, like Lawrence Vickers got lucky. This
is what I don't understand is because his draft stock's affected because he's black or how they
Here we go.
all the crap. And here we go in the chat. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Racist bullshit. Okay, shut up, Matt. No damn. Okay, dude, just move on, and I'll just shut up. I don't fuck it. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Just move on. I don't have an opinion on it. I don't care. I hope Shedeur does a really good job. Move on.
Well, here's what I'll say. As someone who's mixed, and I got a pretty good eye on this. I think it's a little ridiculous that Ryan Clark says this. It seems to be a common thing that he does. It's kind of race bait. He's seemingly like Jamel Hill in that sense, where they race bait like crazy instead of actually giving a take. It takes away his credibility, in my opinion. They're intimidated because it's the prime effect. It's not because he's black. The color is not a thing. Give me a break.
Because he's good. Joe Burrow too.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow was just like.
If color was a thing, why did the 49ers trade up for Trey Lance? Like, I don't get that. Why I don't understand the race baiting part of that.
They're not intimidated because they're racist. They're intimidated because they're cowards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
Well said.
And again, you can get pissed off in the channel. I don't fucking know you. I don't have a fucking clue who your bitch ass is. Get mad. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, I think it's the prime effect. I think it's kind of a foolish take, and Yeah, well, Matt, I got to ask you about something else that I know you're just going to have an amazing response to. Angel
Now
Reese.
I get to be a sexist too. Awesome. Let's do it.
Well, Angel Reese said that she would sit out WNBA games if she doesn't start getting paid more. Take a listen to this.
Did it?
Yeah, CBA is coming up. I can't wait.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Of course.
Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we got to get paid the consequences.
What?
Damn, we got to get it up.
Y'all gotta
like
deal with
y'all.
something. Y'all gotta do something.
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year, or because
Yeah.
the ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract again.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
No, they are.
I'm
They
hurt.
are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
I need to get in the. I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the
I
meeting.
gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility for real.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Matt, what are your thoughts?
You have to have leverage to sit out.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
one,
They don't
no one, not like, I'm sorry, I know women's sports have gotten popular because of they're on TV more. I don't know. I'm not watching the WNBA. You go find 5 guys at the fucking YMCA to beat the shit out of the number 1 WNBA team in the fucking world, guaranteed. So, like, I sit out. Go start an OnlyFans account while you sit out and shake that ass. I'm sorry, but that I don't see Caitlin Clark shaking her ass on fucking TV. I see
true.
this chick's shaking her fucking ass all over TV. So obviously, and again, have you seen her play? Because I watched her miss like 12 fucking shots in a row the other night trying to put it back. So again, I know now I'm a fucking sexist pig, but I don't give a tiffany fuck if the WNBA strikes. I prefer them to not be a thing, honestly. But that's the only league in the fucking world where we sit here and act like they're profitable. Like they're not profitable. The NBA has to subsidize the WNBA every year. You don't make money because no one goes to your games. Ticket sales and TV contracts, eyes on is what sells. And no one gives a shit about your product. So you can't sit here and act like you have leverage just because you got a fat ass. If you want to make more money, go put it on OnlyFans, bitch. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. No one cares what you think.
Oh my God, man, Matt.
We're gonna strike. Please strike, so I don't have to listen to this shit anymore.
Well, what if I had a solution that would solve
What's the solution? What can you? What is the
Don't get mad at me, people in the chat. Don't get mad at me.
Get mad at me, and then hey, you get mad at me, and hold on to my nuts.
Lower the rim. How do you feel about that? Would that pique your interest more if they lowered it to 8 feet?
The ball is already like my fucking 7-year-old could palm that fucking ball. Why do we have to lower the rim? What? So you're telling me like lower the rim to 8 feet so they can start dunking and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might help. No, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help. Look, I have no doubt that there's great women basketball players. There are way better than her. So maybe she shouldn't be the mouthpiece with trying to get more money. Go put like the number 1 player in the fucking world. Who did the Aces win again last year?
Wrong person asked, man.
Okay, I don't have a fucking. I couldn't tell you other than like, what's this chick's name?
That's Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, and what's the white girl's name?
Caitlin Clark.
Other than those two, who I don't even fucking know their names, I couldn't tell you one other fucking Lisa. Is Lisa Lobo still a fucking? No, she was like in the 90s, right?
No, not.
Who was Candace Parker? She was fucking really good. Candace Parker will bang
I
on
don't
the
think she's playing no more. But Sue Bird, I don't think is Sue Bird playing still. I don't think
she's a bad motherfucker. She's really good. Maybe she should come in and talk about this. Or Brittany Griner. I mean, she went to Russia and had a great time. So she's tough. Let her negotiate this shit. She'll probably intimidate the fuck out of somebody. Judging by the chat, she's black, gay and a woman, so she'll intimidate the fuck out of someone, right? Give me a break, dog. The fucking trifecta.
Fuck. Great show, Matt, on this Fine Wednesday.
Was good or not?
I had a great time.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad.
I think the chat certainly has a lot to talk about, and we'll be back on Friday with Philip Dukes on Friday.
Yeah, so we got Philip Dukes Friday to talk about CU and spring ball and all this other shit, and then the one and only, the great Ricky Williams.
Ooh.
That Ricky Williams, my ex-teammate down in Miami. Has got a lot of new stuff going on, new TV show coming out. So we've got Ricky Williams on Monday. So we're going to talk about a ton of different shit pertaining to his show, but also Coach Prime. And we're going to talk about smoking a little dope and, some other shit with Rick, which is going to be awesome. And look, I'm going to say this too. Last week for the Andre Gerard interview, we had several people, or at least one, maybe several, one, I know it was one, who just took content, posted it, and didn't tag us. And then I called them out for not tagging us, and I got shit on for it. This is like, if you know what you're watching and you can't simply tag Bailey and I.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Maybe, I don't want to block you and shit, but come on, dog. You can't. Oh, I forgot. You missed me with that shit. You're not coming up with the content, and you can't sit here and say that I'm being sensitive about it either. This is our fucking business.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this shit for fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think we provide a pretty unique product and a very unique perspective and news that you wouldn't get anywhere else. I don't see Dre going on any other shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody fucking with the names and the people that we have on the show routinely. I don't see those guys anywhere else.
I agree.
So again, just fucking give a little bit of praise to the people that are doing the job, rather than just stealing the content and getting fucking. I mean, he got more retweets and fucking likes than we do when we post, and that it's off of our work. So, I don't know, maybe we should strike. You think we can get away with striking? Or no, are we too white? You're white. I'm white. Fucking whites. Fucking whites, bro.
Yeah, I'm half white, but yes.
Half white. See? Okay, so there you go, half white guy. Congratulations.
That's right. Well, all I got to say to those posting our content.
I was 2.1% fucking Nigerian.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, remember that. So,
yeah, I remember.
Remember
the racial draft with Coach JB,
white, bro. I'll tell you, white people are just the downfall of modern society because of us whites.
God damn, man. Well, yeah, great show.
No jokes. No jokes. My bad.
Oh, God damn. Yeah, here we go. People being sensitive shit. But man, great show on this fine Wednesday. To those who are posting our content, we appreciate you. Please tag us and show where the work comes from.
Have you ever seen White Man Can't Jump? Because it's my favorite movie ever. You probably never seen that.
No.
Okay, Bailey, we really got to talk about this, dog. I'm just asking you. No, but you don't. I start bringing up pop culture references that I guarantee you a bunch of guys in the chat will get, and you won't. So there's the scene at the very beginning of the fucking movie where he's down on the beach playing a pickup game, and he comes out and they trot him out, and Billy Ho is the white dude, Woody Harrelson, and he's stretching, and Wesley Snipes is roasting the fuck out of him because that's what Wesley does. And they looked at him and they were like, okay, this guy's out, and we need a fifth. And they point at Billy Ho and they go, you want to jump in and you want to run? And he goes, the other team's like, no, we don't want him. They go, why? And they go, because he's white. And then everybody goes, he is white. He is white. It's white. And white. And he goes, yeah, you goofy white motherfucker. So, I mean, it's okay. I'll make fun of myself all day because I'm white. Goofy white motherfucker.
Well,
he's white.
going back to the people taking our videos, we appreciate you. Just tag us. That's it. That's all we're asking.
Just tag us.
I don't know why they go at you for doing that. Just tag us. I don't understand. It's like a 5-second thing, so it just details fucking matter. And
sorry for wanting to get a little bit of like credit for what we do. Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah,
who the fuck would want credit?
Yeah, it makes crazy. Man, great show. We'll be back with Phil Dukes on Friday.
I can't
wait.
believe that guy wants me to tag him. Fuck him, piece of shit. He's holding me down.
We do appreciate people posting our clips, though. Just tag us. That's it. It goes both ways. Hell, it could benefits both of us. You just got to tag us. If you don't tag us, it'll benefit us.
We'll retweet you. Look, think about it like this. Remember Stephen Harris, right, from Florida? Yeah. I mean, he was fucking arguing with him, and now we're all buddies.
Yeah,
because he tagged us, and then I got an opportunity to allow me to retort. And then we got into it, and now we're fucking friends, and he's going to come on the show and talk about 06 Florida and 01 Miami, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't tag us, then we don't have a fucking clue who you are because you're watching us, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amen. And, shout out to Stephen Harris for sure. But, man, we'll be back on Friday with Phil Dukes. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Nope. Wish in one hand and shit in the other one and see which one fills up faster.
There you have it. See you on Friday, folks. Great show. Enjoy your day.